deep diving into these cases. Deep diving into these cases is like dancing with the devil. But when you dance with the devil doesn't change. He changes you.
Let's see here. Hey, Tammie. Do I gotta send you the link? Okay, give me a minute. I do not love StreamYard keep changing things. Hold on one second. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can get these little tiny ass, you know, my little tiny pink headphones over these. Hi, Angie. Okay, give me a second. Let me find... Yes, that's still going live. Justin will join us in a little bit. Mr.Cher AKA, Mark AKA, Prairie Boy will join in a little bit. What am I doing? Still getting used to these. It's only been 3 months. I'm going to get them some maintenance on Saturday. Can't wait. Does that work? They fit on there. That's good. Then Mark can wear those black ones. How dumb does this look? For real. Okay, let's check out chat. You guys, I'm back. Okay, who was here the last live I did and it seemed like I rage quit. I did not rage quit. There was too much going on. Too much. I'm going to pull chat up on my phone too because we know how StreamYard doesn't like to show everything. I want to make sure I say hi to everyone. It's been a hot minute. What we got on here? Didn't think I rage quit. Good. Patty Ponytail. Hi, Shannon. Again, I never know where to look, which is why I usually keep my camera off too, because I'm like looking at my phone. I'm looking here at the computer screen, and then right here where camera's set up. Hi, East Coast. I've been sick for the past 2 weeks. I don't know how to say it. Pneumonia, ammonia, pneumonia, and it sucks, guys. So forgive me. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Sherry. Sis will be up here in a minute. Hi, Miss Eve. Patty Ponytail, Becca, JD, Angie's Life, if you're still in here. Hi, Kentucky girl. Good to see you, boo. Shannon. Angel was in here a bit ago. Sheila, Bumfluff, Aussie True Crime. Hi, Michelle Davis. Good to see you. Hi, grandmother. Oh, you need a link. I'm so sorry. Oh, Kentucky girl. Thanks, boo. That's my first super chat in like 3 months. Because I haven't been going live. And I thought I saw, hi, Crime Time Connie. Thought I saw Connie in here. East Coast Beauty. Thank you. Yeah. Let me get the... Yeah, yes, let me get you. Sorry, sis. What the freak? I thought I sent it to you. Oh, because you know what? I get too excited. I get excited and start sending you, you know, things. And then I forget to send you the actual link. You guys want to know something super funny? Oh, wait till Tammie gets up here. Hold on. Tammie and I have been very, very close friends, sisters, for must be like 6 years. It's over 5 now. We know that. So 5, 6 years, we'll say. And we don't talk on the phone because if we ever talked on the phone, we text all day long. Like, you know. But like talking on the phone, I think we know we would never like hang up. We would never ever get anything fucking done if we actually like called on the phone. Anyone else have friends like that? 'Cause I'm not big on being on the actual phone. Justin, hey boo.
Hey, darlings, how are you doing?
Can I just say, one of these days, I
Shit.
need to raid your closet, my friend.
Why?
You
What happened?
have such amazing,
It's all cheap stuff.
shirts, glasses, your makeup's always on point, like your skin.
Not
I should just
today.
say your skin is on point.
Thank you.
And
Hold
I
on.
would wear it,
Hold on.
okay?
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties here.
That's okay, I was too. What's with StreamYard changing everything around on us?
What's that?
StreamYard changing everything again. It's all
Yeah,
new.
I know. They're like, it's easier. I'm like, no, it's more confusing.
I was definitely more confused, and then my dumbass, I'm like, I'm not
They just
going
changed
to-
it today.
Oh, was it today? Okay.
Today.
Because here, I was like getting everything ready and enjoying myself a little joint because I've made the decision as of today. Hold me to it, Justin, Tammie, and y'all. When I'm doing live streams, I don't want to smoke anymore. It's
Okay.
distracting. I get dumber and it makes me mad, which then results in not a very good show, or what I feel is not a very good show. So that means I'm not proud of it. So how could like other people? And
You
I'm
get
like,
mad at yourself.
yeah. So I
That's
don't
the
want to
worst.
smoke.
I hate doing that.
No more smoking while I'm live streaming about important stuff.
It can get. I don't know about you, but I put a lot of pressure on myself. Like when I'm up
Yeah.
here. And so, like, it's constant.
I thought it did. Tammy. Okay, now I sent it.
What'd she say?
I should send me the link. I went and
Oh.
copied and pasted it, and then I get to talking with you and totally forgot to send it. See? No more
Gotcha.
weed during live streams.
You're fine.
And I say it out loud on live in front of all of you guys. So, yes, you can absolutely hold me to it. Please do.
I got you. I'm going to write you something real quick.
Angel,
saying the
be
wrong name.
proud if you see me following through. That's when you be proud. But thank you for being a member for 19 months. You will see some more
that's
over
a
there.
dedicated.
I'm going to start coming back. You know, I'll say, I want to do twice a week, but I'll say once a week just to be safe. But yes, I'm back to piss everybody off. Because I've been missing it. I've been telling Justin and Tammie, like, it's just not time right now. There she is.
I cannot with you.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Okay, wait. I need to get this taken down because it's covering Justin's head. You guys don't have a
Oh, no, it's
sticker
fine.
that's...
I got so much room. I'm good.
Yeah, but I don't want it to look like that. I don't like it.
StreamYard has changed since.
Why? It looks like I've got your picture on my wall. Look.
Yeah. Is that what it is on screen? Because for me, it's covering your whole beautiful face. So
No,
I'm
it-
just-
you must be on your phone.
there we go.
Looking for me.
Yeah, I'm on the computer. So now I have it
Oh,
pulled
no,
up on
I
the...
don't see it.
I
Like that.
can't, Sherry Lynn. I
There we
cannot.
go.
with her. I cannot.
Tammy.
I cannot. I'm over here. I'm like, I'm waiting
Yeah,
on
it's
the
not
link. I'm waiting on the link, and I'm like, this link thing. And I'm like, and I send her. I'm like, hey, I need the link. I mean, I'm good, but I ain't that good.
Right. I'm not a genie in a bottle.
That's right.
Oh, I love that.
You tell Justin that in chat, Sherry Lynn. Yeah. Yeah.
Tammy, I was saying no more joints while live streaming, and apparently not while setting up live streaming either.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Not while we're texting back and forth. Because
you know,
we're texting back and forth and then silence. And I'm like, All right now. She has just ditched me for the day. And then hours later, I mean, I'm no kidding, like 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm asleep, I'm like, really?
When I wake up,
Like, really, Cher?
I say, they'll see it when they wake up.
I didn't go to sleep till 8:30 this morning.
Hot damn,
Oh
what?
my goodness.
I was up editing.
How long did you sleep? Did you get any rest?
I thought my 3:30
I
was
slept.
bad.
I slept from 8:30 to 12:30.
Well,
Well, you need more than
4 hours.
that.
4 hours. That's good for me.
Yeah, I can run a lot better off of 4 hours too.
I haven't been sleeping good. I don't know what it is. It's just weird.
Hi, Raw Beanie. Exquisite. Raw Beanie. Yeah, that's right. Hi, ICU.
Raw beanie. There's some names on here.
I know. I love it.
I never think of some of these names that people.
Hi,
think.
Kimbo. Aussie True Crime is back in the house.
Yay!
Crime Time Connie says hello, Justin. Hi, Kathy.
Hello.
How would you say your name? Kathy Holtgraf. Holtgraf, eh?
I don't see what you're seeing.
I don't either.
She's kind of back some.
Oh, did you go back? Okay.
Let's see. Where'd she go? Because now I want to know. She's right here. How would you say that?
Holtgraf?
Holtgriff.
Holtgraf?
Okay, let me get my video ready.
Griefy, Griefy, or Holt Grief.
Mark is going to join us in a little bit as well.
When I'm doing my
Good.
videos, I hate to mispronounce somebody's name.
I do too.
I do too, because people always call me like Wrench or something like that, and it's like, dude, what?
And I always apologize. Like when I'm doing my videos, if I say their name and I'm like, I am so sorry if I said that wrong.
Yeah.
Because I
Sorry
hate.
if I butchered your name.
Right. I hate that.
Some people get really offended if you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So that's why I'm always like, I was trying to say it, but I know I didn't say it right.
Yeah.
Do you guys think I should share something tonight or keep it private? You know exactly what I'm talking about. You two on panel.
Do I know?
Yes. Keep private my sources at this point, or does it even matter anymore?
If it's that.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you
Let's
think?
see.
Oh.
Let
me see.
Try.
Right. Yes, that's what I mean.
Oh.
Do they care?
That's a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me text. Let me ask.
I wouldn't think they would, being that I've seen.
Oh, I just saw your text. Yeah, I agree with that last text you sent, Justin. Absolutely. Okay, well, I'm just not going to right now. How about that?
Spill the tea, right?
Everyone in chat like, damn you, Cher.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Tell us, right? You gotta tell us.
Mark always like, and that's when I killed her, Your Honor.
That's when I killed her. You're not supposed to keep secrets.
Okay, where I want to start, I want to start with pulling up an interview with, okay, so I've been keeping mostly quiet, except for in mainly Justin's chats on this case, this situation, these people. I know there's already sides going on in this case. For me right now, I'm like kind of on the fence. Give me 1 second. Ouch. Hello? Oh, sorry. Why was it locked?
Sissy AKA Silly Rabbit. Huh?
Okay. So I was on the fence. A lot of people jumped on Daniel Martell. I'm on the fence with Daniel. And even with the new stuff coming up, we're going to get to the mess of it all, but you can have addictions and have many issues. It doesn't necessarily mean that you harm children, right?
Sure.
But on the other side of that fence, I'm tightly straddling.
But there's a risk factor. You know,
There's a risk factor
there's
that
a
comes with
way more
drugs.
risk factor.
Yep.
Right.
And you said it really well last night, Justin, where what comes along with drugs? Thank you so much. What comes along with drugs, you guys, chat? First thing that comes to your mind. Top 3 things that comes along with drugs.
Money.
Or lack of, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm going to say
I just mean.
drug dealers, more drugs, and all of the wrong kinds of people.
You go into
I will
people's houses,
say
people coming into your houses,
chaos and mood swings are my top 3.
sickness,
Mm-hmm.
highs and lows, really high highs, really low lows.
Shannon, strangers, that's a number 1 right there. Yes. Hi, Emily.
Just
Hi, forget-me-not.
environment, because they go to sleep in places and wake up in places that aren't probably great.
Abuse. Yes, just me, exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, just me, forget-me-not.
They are incapable of
and-
really taking care of themselves at the time, you know, because
Right.
I mean, there are some functional addicts, you know what I mean? But I think it depends on what they're on as well.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
I think that also depends. Big
Mhm.
things as well. You know, there's not really function. I don't know if there's functional meth addicts or not. But,
You know, I've read where there are people that can take
I mean, I
crack
think there's
and function well, and
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I think there's outliers to anything, right? But generally,
Right. Yeah.
you know,
math is the devil. Yeah.
yeah, it's inexpensive,
Right.
and it
Well, that's the nasty one, like you said last night too, which I've heard many, many, many years. Is you're forever chasing your
that
first
one,
high on that.
yeah, chasing the
and
dragon.
you don't ever get it.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to kill yourself on as well by accident.
You don't live a long time.
Mm-mm. And they're using new things like ingredients that go. And
Uh-huh.
I just heard some just the other day, and I'm like, really?
Well, what if there's fentanyl in there?
Yeah. I mean, you don't know what they're putting in there.
You have no idea.
So I am going to pull some stuff up, and I know some of your opinions on things, and a lot of people have been asking me, you know, what's on your mind with this share. So there's a lot going on. Let's talk about Belinda, the biological grandmother. I keep going back and forth on my feelings for her, but what I will say is I'm glad she's talking. I've seen the most emotion from her that I believe. There was a point, though, before the last couple days here that at first I was kind of like, what this lady just say? Like, what the fuck? And where it was is when she was talking on the news, and she was like, well, Cody was pissed off, and, you know, we were mad, and mostly Cody was mad. And I'm thinking, that's weird. Like, why is he mad? Just let them search. Like, yeah, you haven't seen them in years. I get that. But I didn't understand it. For me, I was seeing such a high level of anger come from them, from Belinda when she spoke, that it didn't mesh well with me at first. It still doesn't mesh well with me when I think of it. Sorry, guys. And, however, I am changing my mind a little bit on that, because I believe her when she's crying. I see her out here not playing games. I would say she's one like Miss Brandy Neal, who is using social media not to get their jollies off and just try and dirty
She
the
really
pools
wants
more.
answers.
They're using it as tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're being very wise about it from what I can see. And
I
so
think-
that's changing my
Yeah.
idea on them a little bit.
I think she's a good
Yeah.
person overall. You know, like I see her. I think she comes from a generation where you don't overstep when someone gets in like a new relationship, and I just feel like she's the type of person. Okay, I'm going to respect my son's beliefs, and Malaya isn't coming around anymore, and she's off with a new relationship. You can tell the old photos that she has with Jack and Lily that she is in love with Lily and Jack.
Mm-hmm.
You can just see. I mean, I've got a photo here somewhere.
I
and
agree, Cassie. She's trying to find answers anywhere. It's something she said on It's a Crying Shame when she just said, because Deerwood kept, coming in, butting his two-piece in. Now that's a topic for a few minutes later. But
Can I share that real quick?
she just said, you know what? I don't care. I just want answers. I
Yeah,
don't care.
and that's
just
what-
talk.
That's what- you know,
Aww.
you can just tell. You know, she is in love with those babies. And that just reminds me of like one of my aunts growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
And-
adorable.
So
That's cute.
yeah,
She's made them come to life a little bit more with what she's
Yeah.
been sharing, which is always good for all of us who hasn't got to meet this child, but now this child weighs heavy on all of our hearts, which is
yeah. I mean, she's really, in my opinion, at least, the only
She's
one that's
getting shit done.
speaking. You know, that's just like seems to not be playing the games, like you said, in my opinion.
And when she went there, so I'll tell you another reason, and we can pull her interview up if you guys want to.
Sure.
But when she said she had driven past that trailer a few times but had no idea Malaya and the kids were living there. 'Cause if she did, she would have visited. And then there was a time where she says, and I've been trying to find this clip, but she had made a comment about when the kids were reported missing, she was actually around the area. And that made me go, huh.
Well, she.
Weird.
I know where she lives.
It's not weird after you find that out.
She passed it like every time she went to town.
Yes. And
You know,
so
she
once
just kind
I
of thought it was a camp.
Yeah. And I don't remember who told me that. Perhaps I heard that on your show, Justin, but there was a while I was like, that was really freaking weird. And then I realized, no, actually that's not weird. So, again, my opinion's definitely turning on Belinda, not so much on some others. Let's see here. And Belinda thinks the children are gone. And I had to tell you guys something. I'm here in Canada. Some of y'all are in Canada. We see what's on the Canadian news and also local law enforcement. You know, I'm out in the public for a job. I run my mouth. I ask people if they've heard this or that, and I show them this or that. And when you hear the law all talking with a heavy heart, as if, and actually speaking like the kids are past, it seems to I sure get the vibes that people don't think it within the law that these children are alive. And so I hate to say that because that's not what I want to come on here and say. I don't want people to lose hope, and we can't lose hope because they're children. They need to come home passed or not passed, and be with a proper family and get some help and be with a family that loves children and wants to be parents. And if they are passed, well, those children need to come home, because if anything, now they are loved across the globe, okay? And we will make sure they have the nicest place to rest, because this is bullshit. And I'm starting to feel like, much like in the Wells, that there are several people here that know what the heck is going on, and I don't know why they're putting this on themselves longer than they have to. We live in Canada. That's something I want to say. A lot of Americans are creators. Justin's American, Tammie American, I'm Canadian. Some of them are Canadian. Sunny, it's a crying shame, and so they can vouch for what I'm going to say. If you're going to commit a crime, you might want to think about doing it in Canada.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's a lot better in Canada.
Do not commit a crime in Canada. I'm just trying to tell people that might not know. Dad, I love you, but my dad's a free man. You could do something terrible, and if you go in and be an adult, a grown man or woman, remorseful, and be, I fucked up. The kids are here. I fucked up. Help me help myself.
Yeah.
You're going to see a free life again. You are.
It's about
like it or don't like it.
It just is what it is. Yeah.
Justin, you're very familiar with Canada. You know.
Yes. It's not the United States.
No, and this can't be doing anybody well. Daniel has spoken about Malehya should be in prison for what happened. Well, what happened? Because if she's just hiding her kids and her kids are fine somewhere and they're alive and well, I'm not sure that calls for prison. Just bring them home safe. Do some parenting classes, grow the fuck up, clean yourselves up type of deal. Mm-hmm. Go to rehab, other things. Prison, I wouldn't, you guys know me. That's not where my thoughts would go over something like that. But here's the thing, I don't believe those kids are alive and well anywhere, because this would be over by now.
Yep, sure would.
So, it doesn't, the stories, everything doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, it doesn't get this far without something real dire happening.
Right. Hi, Dave. Hi, Lolo. A couple people come in. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi.
Drippy thoughts. You can get out in a few years. Yeah, absolutely. You behave yourself in prison, and you pick up that, prison religion. You're out. Again, a lot of you guys know all about my dad. And my dad has made some mistakes that he is not happy with. And there's been times where my dad has begged the prison not to release him. But that's not how it works, okay? But what I am saying is, just take that into account. And people in Canada know. So if you hurt the kids, or there was an accident, Daniel, Malehya, Janice, or whatever Daniel's mom is, because we'll get to that, let me tell you. The way things are going, you might not see freedom again, because you are wasting agencies and manpowers, and you're lying, and you're racking up to the point where you actually might not see freedom over stupidity. Stupidity.
Yeah.
Stupid shit. When there are murderers walking all around Canada free every day who have multiple murders under their belt, I'm sorry, I'm not sugarcoating, and I'm telling the truth.
No, you're absolutely right.
I just need people to understand, because in the States, people might be like, what the hell? That's not normal. And it's not normal. But we're in Canada, and that's how Canada works.
Canada is more like the UK justice system. I would say maybe even a little bit more lenient than the UK justice system.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I get you don't want to go to prison at all, even for one day, because they're going to know what you're in there for. And hurting kids in the States or Canada or the UK or anywhere, it's going to be the same outcome and the
Yeah.
same prison justice. But hey, you can't win them all. My
Well-
serious advice would be give this shit up because
Well,
it's not worth it.
yeah, they're going to find out one way or another, right? I mean, it's
And
coming. It's
The vibes
clearly
in
coming.
Canada is for sure that they definitely know something that they are
Yeah.
holding on to. I
Yeah.
believe that.
Yes, I do believe that this will.
If you know something, say something, do it for Jack and Lily. And do it all for anyone involved. You can't be happy with this. No one likes being on the run, looking over their shoulders.
You can
and
see there's a weight. There's 1,000 pounds weight on their chest right now.
you guys,
You know, one thing, I've watched so many interrogations, and even though they don't want to admit it, when
Yes,
they
Trippy.
do, they feel better. When they admit that, what they've been holding on to this secret that's no longer a secret anymore.
and when you get stuff like meth involved, you're not yourself anymore.
No, you're not.
Okay,
You're
so
absolutely not. You are not yourself. There, you cannot be on math and be a functioning, rational human being. You just can't. And whether you made a bad decision of leaving something out, or something else happened, someone snapped or whatever, it's not an excuse that this crime was committed, but at least like you were not functioning correctly.
yeah. And you can clean yourself up. You know, the way I hear Daniel talking, I think maybe that's what he meant with the waterfall, like when he was sober again. Nobody wants to feel the feelings they're feeling right now. There's just no way. You guys, I have anxiety and I don't have missing kids or have killed somebody. So I can't imagine what these people are living with. And unfortunately, I get the vibes they're only caring about themselves right now, not missing Lily and Jack. And that's sad to see. So I guess since that's what you want to do, I'd have to say, take care of yourselves right now then. Turn yourselves in to make yourselves lighter. Get this off your chest. Get this
big missing hole.
Yes.
Where it's
Bring
obvious
these
as
kids
hell.
home.
It's obvious as hell.
I think
but
it's obvious, yeah. And I
it's
think
obvious.
something went too far. And if there was an accident because people got into their addictions and turned into something, you can't help that. That is an illness. Malehya, Daniel's mom, that's an illness that so many of us, whether they'll admit it or not, I'll admit it.
Well, and listen, the thing about it is, if people's like, well, she dumped Cody because of drugs. Okay, fine. People change, relationships change, situation change. That doesn't mean she would have dumped Daniel, number one, and that doesn't mean she wouldn't do it, number two. Sometimes
We don't know if she has or hasn't done it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people break you. You will put up with in one
Hi, Claudia.
relationship that you would never put up with anybody else for whatever reason.
Especially when relationships are toxic.
Of
Because
course.
when you're in these toxic, Malehya is not the same Malehya leaving. Just like Cher hasn't been the same Cher. Like it's just toxic, chaotic, messed up. These children didn't have a prayer. But it's not too late.
It's never too late.
End all of this shit now. Stop having the law rack on more and more and more and more. like, it just doesn't make sense. And yeah, I'm going to say in Canada, of all places, this doesn't make sense to me. I don't think anyone wants to be feeling what they're feeling. I'm hearing people are getting threatened, of course, surprised in this case, to take back statements. What the hell? That shit will get racked up on you too, by the way.
Mhm.
And the
Just give
fact
me
that
2
there,
seconds here. I'm sorry.
the fact that there is 150K through Nova Scotia and we're not getting any real anything is very
Says a lot.
telling. Yep. Hi,
What's your thoughts,
Polly.
Tammie?
Yes, Tammie.
On
Hi, Justice.
in
On it
gen-
all.
on it all.
Yeah.
I don't believe that they are still with us, sadly. I do
Mhm.
not. And I do believe Malehya knows a lot more than she's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do. I also feel that about Daniel. I think he knows more than what he's saying. I'm not saying he's. I don't know how to say it. Like more guiltier than the other one. It's kind of hard to say it that way, but I'm leaning more toward Malehya than I would be him. If I could say, I feel like it was more of they left something out and they found it and she found them and they couldn't do anything. So instead of calling for help like she should have, she did not.
And says me too. Hi, Angie.
So I think it was leaning more toward an accident that they covered up.
Yeah, there's something that's not right because we have people that were there when when it was reported and the day after and everything, and you've got Daniel's mom not letting people in her trailer to the point where they said you're hindering an investigation, and then you have her, whoever's calling her mom, but I don't think she has a daughter, but whatever, she's calling her mom saying, they're not blaming you, Mom, they're not blaming you. So clearly you feel guilty of something.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's what you're worried about. So red flag on that. And something about the cabinet and then and the dogs or whatever. Well, now then the half sister Haley comes out and says that they found meth in the bathroom, which means he was doing whatever in the bathroom just the next day of reporting the kids missing. And now she's taken that back because she's been threatened, but she said it. We all heard it. And right away, I'll be honest, I had weirdness thinking about Daniel's mom from the beginning too, because hello, okay, I get it's not your grandkids, but let them go through the damn trailer. You know why? Because it helps weed you out so then they can focus on the next person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand people that aren't like, look at me, clear me so you can spend your time getting the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And no, not Daniel's mom. Oh, hell no. So right away, I had already thought, does she have drugs in the trailer? She doesn't want him to find drugs in the trailer, is what I was thinking long before the meth thing came out about Daniel.
Yeah.
And then her out there fixing potholes at 6 a.m.
Yeah, that was
with a shovel. Well, was she covering up boot prints, Tammie said?
Mm-hmm.
Or was she out there dealing 6 a.m.? That's some freaking crack and meth time, in my opinion. I don't know. I've never lived on those times, but
that would be a weird time to be up if you really have nothing.
I know Dawn was swinging shit at 5, 6 a.m. before, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you have no purpose to be it, that's weird. Who wants to be up at that time in the morning?
So the morning they go missing, you're out on the road at 6 a.m., but then somehow everyone's back asleep again. Everybody's up, everybody's asleep, everybody's, halfway sleeping, halfway up. We're on the road.
Yeah, there was no stability there, I don't think.
It's ridiculous. The dogs didn't bark. Then Daniel says they did bark one time. And then Daniel said maybe someone was out there shushing them.
Well, why would you say that?
Like, what?
Why would you say that?
Right. What do you think? Let's see what's going on in chat here. Sorry, guys. Let me look at the chat here. Downers and opioids. Yeah, who knows if meth is all they're doing. Exactly right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
None of them look affected by the time passing with 2 babies missing. Yeah. Daniel doesn't have ownership of any. Well, Jack and Lily aren't biologically his.
Right.
He has 4 kids. Right?
I don't know. Does he have that many?
I think he has 4 kids. 3 or 4? Now he's seeing Meadow, yeah. I thought he had 2 older ones and then Meadow. So I think he has 3 for sure. High Hope floats 3. Yeah, 3 sounding right, you guys. So let me I want to pull something up here.
Shannon says he does Lily and Jack's age.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, I do think that the picture that he posted up with Meadow was a dig at Malehya. I do. And in fact, he's changed that picture, I've been told, lately, so it's not even that picture. But as soon as I saw that, I said, oh, that's a dig to Malehya. Like, he wants to hit Malehya right now.
Well, in his interview, he always refers to them.
And that's just it. Where they're using, there's probably large amounts and possibly selling, which is either way, using or selling or both. We're having a lot of weirdos at that trailer. And looking on the outside of that trailer, and from what Belinda says, the inside of the trailer definitely looks like it's been living in meth time. Yeah, not one kid, but 2. The kids were loud. They were a handful from what I've been told. Right, drippy. Yeah, right. I want to... Okay, hold on. CBC. Yeah, that's the one I want. All right, share screen.
This is the morning gut reset recipe that took me from 198 to 147 in just weeks.
Oh, I'm so
it's
sure.
Natural.
Shut up.
I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack.
It's been...
You can't handle the truth. Right off the bat, I know the truth. Well, then, freaking say it. Because while I am on the fence with, Daniel, I still think that there's absolutely, at the very least, guilty knowledge of something. And just like, Daniel, do the right thing. Daniel absolutely thinks that prison should be involved for what happened to Jack and Lily. Prison. Okay? So that tells me those kids aren't alive and well, because you wouldn't go to prison if that's the case. Now, you might if you're racking up search parties and all this and lying to the law and all that. Now, just ask Casey Anthony. That's what she did the years for in the end of it. But you do get charged for that kind of stuff. And I do get the feeling that the law is not too happy with the games being played. And there's going to be charges for all of this. So the longer this keeps going, the dumber you are. Okay? Tell all of you, everyone.
6 weeks now since you've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to
Hi,
ask,
short
how are you
note.
holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world.
Oh, let me say really quick. Sorry, I wanted to pay attention. See, I'm all new share starting now. No more weed while live, and I'm gonna pay attention to chat. I saw some. Carol loves embroidery and crime shows. I be listening, but do things on embroidery machine for Saturday family reunion. Nice. Is it typical
Carol.
for all of the madness to go with missing kids, or is this case out of the norm? It's not.
Any high profile. I mean, listen, for any show to get this big, or any case to get this big, there's craziness.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it just is. It just is. And I know a lot of people's like, I've had people come in chat and they're like, Justin, why do you always feel like you blame the parents or whatever like that? I'm like,
It's hard not to.
well, it's because we're here, and it's got here for a reason, because if everything seemed right, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the whole point. We only cover those types of cases. So
Do you think they're watching the interviews that he's doing and all the
I know
social
100%.
media that
Yeah.
he
he's-
goes on?
he's-
Yeah.
yeah.
I can tell you, I've spoken with some
People.
law people enjoy a toke or two when they're on their days off or whatever, but I'm, again, I ask questions, and absolutely they're watching. Yep.
I didn't know if they
Lolo's right.
watched. I didn't know if they watched over there like they do, over
They sure do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
7 out of 10 times or more, actually more than that, it is the parents or someone in the house.
Daniel says it, right? Always. Just like, wives, girlfriends, if we die, the first one's going to be the husband and the boyfriend looked at, Got to clear them out, move on to find the real bad guy if it's not them, right? If you're no...
My husband, a cup. I'm like, here, honey, have a cup of tea. I just upped your life insurance policy. There you go. Sip up, baby.
Play that ad. Need it, Lolo.
Are you not going to play it?
I am. I was waiting for Mark. He just ran to the potty.
Come on, Marcus.
Sorry, but the photo with Meadow looks like it was taken before. No. I mean, I can tell you he
No.
saw Meadow twice in 1 week. I mean,
It's true.
you can trust and believe me.
The photo that when that came out, it was, but she's a little bit small, I think, for her
She
age.
is. Yes. She's malnourished, I'd say.
Yeah.
Justin, you will have to ask
And
Mark.
her eyes looked tired and reminded me of Summers and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Sunk back. Yeah. You have to ask Mark what he's gonna have to do when
Oh,
I
my
reach
heart just skipped a
500.
beat.
Did you tell? Did you?
Why, what happened?
No, just
Me coughing?
the things you were saying. Just there's so many kids out here that just they're fucking hungry.
Yeah.
Sorry, pardon my French.
No.
But they're just hungry and they're just malnourished and they just need some protein and some iron and some vitamins and minerals.
And all the adults are all in the living room and kitchen getting high. So they don't care about any of that. And this is true to a couple cases now. Not Sebastian's, but Summers, this case. I will say for once, you guys, this case, I don't think we were studied before they went missing, okay? Been wrong before, but...
What is that? What do you say?
I said I don't feel like we were all studied before these kids got reported missing, though. Unlike
What do you mean?
Well, before Summer went missing, we absolutely, all of us creators, were studied before these kids went missing. Same with Sebastian, which creeps me out. They knew us all from Chris Watts days. They knew, and so they knew who they could pick. Like they knew exactly what to do coming on here, and that I don't like that whatsoever. This is not the case with this case. I know they're all
I
on the
agree.
YouTubes
I agree
now.
with you. I agree
Yeah.
with you on that.
I think a lot of them are actually shocked to find out about this true crime stuff.
Yeah. Well,
they had no
Blenda,
idea.
she had no idea. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. You know, they know that there's true crime shows on television or whatever.
Yeah, the YouTube true crime and news is kind of making its
It's
way.
this-
Like some of us Canadians are doing it. You know, we're here, but
it's the second most search engine or YouTube is after Google in the
Yep.
world.
yeah. So I'm coming back, y'all.
That's right.
Reporter share. Mark, hurry up. Okay, well, we wait for Mark. Do we want to talk about the bedtime story and timeline, Justin? Are we buying that?
Well, I don't know anything about it, you know, other than the 7 to 9.
Yes.
And do I buy it?
Maybe if they're doing drugs, are they being locked in their rooms?
Yep. You took the words out of my mouth. Yep.
Is that what you were thinking?
Yep.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah, and I've seen that happen a time or two with my own eyes of back in the day. People do that,
Oh,
you guys.
The short I did last night, Lolo.
You had me
Was that a
looking all
tribal
crazy.
man that just came next to you?
Okay, this is funny here. Okay, so it's Mark. How can we get
Hello,
you on
Marcus.
camera too? But as you guys know, like 2-3 years ago, I went and finally got to see my dad for the first time since I was
Mark
5.
is throwing it out.
Yeah, he is. And my dad had this on his wall, which
I thought it was a shirt.
No. My dad carved this many years ago. So my dad carved my husband before I ever even knew my husband.
I knew I loved you before I met you.
Is that not weird?
Remember that song, Savage Garden?
Yes.
I love Savage
Savage
Garden.
Garden. Yeah. We're not old.
God, I know, right?
So Dad gave me that when we left, and then we were sending him pictures on the way home all throughout Canada with that little thing on the bike and like up against trees and stuff. I know. Look like for real. My dad. There is so many stuff. That's a whole nother show, you guys. But the ties, like people don't understand like why me and my dad are close. There's so much.
Well, people don't
But,
have to understand it.
Yeah, I mean that's just crazy right there. The eyes.
She's posing. Okay.
Can you guys see Mr.Cher okay?
Yes. Have you been following this pretty good, Mr. Cher?
Not really. I've watched a little bit,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. I've been so busy with work. I've been totally out of true crime.
I understand.
I want to share something. Dad just texted, so he's obviously watching. Hey, Dad. He said, "Baby girl, watching your show, you can continue to impress me with your focus and desire." Okay. What you said about clearing one suspect so the investigators can go on to the next more efficiently. Anyone who is standing in the way of that is very likely hiding something. Okay?
Daddy's smart.
That makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that. I missed that Papa Share. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
let me pull this up. So, yeah, Mark's been following the little bits because I've got it going on all the time now, right? Let's see. Why does this keep happening? Hold on. Okay. We want
There's no
CBC.
reason anyone should be trying to not be truthful or hide something in an investigation when a 4 and a 6-year-old are missing. I mean, Cher, think about that, Mr. Cher, Tammie. 4 years old, that's preschool. We're talking a preschool baby here.
Let's do something
6,
because I know certain people are.
kindergarten, first grade, max.
Yep.
Let's do something here, you guys, because I know certain people are listening, which will make sense later at a different time. But hold on.
You know, I would love to talk to Daniel about I wouldn't even have to speak to him about
I'm gonna call him
Lily
next.
and Jack. I would like to know about.
Oh, Dad, can you turn the YouTube down, please?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. How's that?
Perfect. I've got a question for you. I have you on the show. Is that okay? Like everybody can hear you? Okay. So I'm like, I podcast land. I'm just telling people that Canada's a lot different than how the States works, and that they're kind of being dumb for if people know something. And like you said, you're doing these things because obviously people are hiding things. But I mean, Canada works differently, and they're in their 20s. So if they would just come forth, tell the truth, help the law, bring the kids home, whichever way that might be, don't you think that they would absolutely see freedom again?
What do you mean that Canada works differently? You mean in sentencing people and stuff like that?
Yeah, like there's a lot of people who, I mean, you've made some mistakes. You're a free man today, when both you and I didn't know if that should even be a thing years ago. But you're a free man. You've made mistakes, but not just you, many other people. And Canada is different. But I just want these... Yeah, you know what I mean? So they would see freedom again, don't you think? Like they would...
Sure they would.
If they even went to prison at all?
Well, they would.
Yeah, for sure they would. This is a family matter we're talking about, obviously, right?
Yes, the 2 missing kids in Nova Scotia, and a lot of the vibe seems to be they don't... No, and on the second was 2 months, Dad.
Oh, gosh.
And there's nobody that knows that more than your dad.
Yep.
And the parents are standing in the way of the investigation?
Yeah. They're lying, and the stepdad story keeps changing. It doesn't mean he's done anything, but yeah, the mom isn't talking at all. The mom went out to the beach and was posting pictures on social media, having a good old time doing her hair and makeup and hanging out at the beach with her friends.
Well, the only thing I can say is if your kid's missing, especially if 2 of your kids are missing, then, all bets are off. You help the cops in any way you possibly can. You turn over every rock. You look at it behind.
It's hard to hear him.
Just don't stop until you find them. And if you're not doing that, and
That's
your
better.
story's not adding up, then there's something definitely wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know very much at all, except for what you just told me about this case.
Yeah.
And a little bit that I heard on the news, but I don't think it's going to be too long before charges are laid.
Yeah.
Sounds of things.
Yeah.
And,
You guys, I'm telling you, the word around the Canada streets it's coming down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It won't be long. They're definitely in the radar of the cops. But from Nova Scotia, I don't know if that's RCMP or not.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, RCMP, yeah.
Okay.
It-
Well, the investigation's in good hands. That's a pretty good police force.
Yeah.
That's coming from me, so that says something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right, Pops.
Hey, way to go. I love your work.
Love you.
Hey, bud.
All right, go back to the show. I'm going to hang up now.
All right.
Now you can turn it back up. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Love you, Dad. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I think that's a testament to nobody that knows that better, Cher, because of the things your dad has been through.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the system in and out his whole life, right? More or
Yeah.
less. And it's not the United States, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Canada, life sentence is 25 years.
Yeah, so if you're doing what you're supposed to be, being a good human when you are locked up, and also the prisons around here fill up fast, so you're not doing probably you have to do at least, was it 7 years of that?
You have to do a
think it's
certain percentage.
You have to do 30% of the 25 years. And sometimes you get lucky and the prison's just too full, and so you might get booted out even
And
without
good
that.
behavior and all of that is a big
Yeah.
factor.
So,
Well, Canada still has the notion that prison is meant for reforming.
yeah.
What did he say? It's hard to hear, Mark.
Canada's prison system is big on rehabilitation and reforming.
Yeah.
Rather than just lock people up and throw away the key.
Yeah.
Well, see, here in America, we have private systems. We have most prisons in America are private. And so it's a big money thing here.
It's that here too, yeah. And for people that don't know, oh, hold on. Hey, Dad.
Hey,
Hi.
I'm still listening. I just got to clear you up on a couple of things. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. In Canada, if you get sentenced to life 25, that's for first-degree murder or kidnapping or serial rape, that kind of thing. But if you get sentenced to life 25, you do 25 years before you're even eligible for a parole hearing.
Oh, okay.
For second-degree murder, it's life 10 usually. But they can put that up to life 15 or life 20 or whatever they want. But it's usually life 10. And on average, if your guy is doing life 10, you do 15, 16 years before you even go before a parole board for anything. So once you're in the system, if you're a life or you're in there and they don't ever have to let you go. I did time with guys. One guy I did time with was arrested the day I was born, 1963. He's probably gone now, but he was still doing time on a life bit. So I just wanted to make sure you're clear on that.
Thanks, Pops.
Life 7 is for lesser things like kidnapping, where they rescue the victim and stuff.
The most violent.
So if the kids were found and they are A-okay, do you think they would even go to prison?
It depends on the circumstances. If they sold them, then there's going to be some issues, some jail time, for sure. And anyone that was associated with it would hopefully get locked up. I don't know what else. What other options are there if the kids are still alive and healthy, other than the fact that they sold them to somebody? They give them to somebody?
Well, it just came out. Well, that's what they're saying, that they're on the reservation somewhere. But I keep trying to tell people that the res isn't just going to hide out 2 kids that are missing like this.
No.
Are these native people?
She's part native. She is tied to a reservation.
What about the children?
Allegedly.
Are they native?
Well, partly, yes, I guess, because they're her
all
mom.
right.
She's her
Then
mom.
You're dealing with a whole different ball of wax then. I didn't know that.
And also, they found out they found meth in the house too.
Yeah, that's no big surprise. Wow.
Dad.
Natives on the res in Canada, I've heard some nightmare stories, and I know they're true because I've heard them from the people who live through them.
Do they hide children? Would they hide super high-profile kids?
They've been known to do all kinds of things with their kids.
Oh, okay. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye.
Enjoy yourself. Bye.
Before he gets me in trouble.
Yeah, they're not being hid at all.
He said that's not a surprise about the meth.
Yeah.
I was the only one surprised. I was like, wait, what? I thought, yeah, anyway.
As soon as I looked at Daniel, I thought he was on something.
Yeah, you said that. I thought that was.
You said what?
As soon as I looked at Daniel in that interview,
Uh-huh.
I thought he was on something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He's
I like.
kind of got a little bit of the meth mouth, a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, after, but you know, I
Mhm.
don't like to say because everyone said I had meth mouth, and I never touched meth.
Hold on, I'm gonna write something in chat.
Okay, let's go over this because I want Mark to see some of this too, and Dad's
What
watching.
eggs do to your brain. Take a look at these two brain scans.
You can call back
They
in
both look young,
whatever you wanna say,
strong,
Dad.
and healthy. But
We'll
I
get
know the
him
truth.
up on
Look like they
panel
have
one of these
testicles.
days. What happened? And I just want to say, my dad's a free man, and he has, what'd he say, folded somebody. So again, like, my dad knows a lot how the system works. It's very stupid for these guys to keep things going when they're very young. So let's say something happened to these kids and they got 25 years. I don't think that would happen, to be quite honest, especially because they
Yeah.
can fight the whole meth and addiction thing. So that's going to lower things. And in fact, that wouldn't even be first degree murder because if something happened to those kids and it is drug related, again, Canada is more about rehabilitation than locking
Yeah.
someone up and throwing away the key.
Well,
Daniel.
I think also it's in how, if you are willingly trying to, not disclose correct information.
And can I just say, I don't want people, because I know how my haters will like to clip this or whatever. This isn't like bragging. Oh, my dad's been to prison. I'm wanting people to like realize and see, and also certain people listening, like, okay, maybe if you know you're not going to be locked up forever, might be helpful to know.
Either way, just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. Because
Yes.
it's not about you at that point. You know what I mean? I mean, if something happened, you've just got to take, so when it comes to life and death, you got to take those consequences,
Yep.
for better or worse. You just got to. It's not hiding drugs or anything like that. This is life and death. And that's different.
See, if they had the kids, however it works, there's a lot of truths to what you hear about the res, and there's a lot of myths to what you hear about the res. I'll say that.
Yes.
But RCMP would absolutely know if they were on the res or not, whether they could
1000%.
get to them or not. Okay, I heard Justin saying that and I'm
Yeah.
screaming while I'm at work. Facts, facts, facts. This is true. So the RCMP wouldn't keep this up if they had an inkling that they were
Not
on
a
the
chance.
reservation. Okay.
Neither would Malehya and Daniel.
No.
With all of this, like, literally, this is a worldwide news story now, right?
Yes, it's global. Yes,
this
it's national.
This is they trust me. They would say, okay, they're I just wanted to leave Daniel or whatever people say, which I don't believe for the.
No, that does none of
a
that
thing.
story makes sense.
Yeah, it
That
doesn't make
didn't. No, it doesn't make sense. No, that's no.
Yeah.
They thought that would sound good, and it just does not. Absolutely
All right.
not. I saw someone say thank you for a gifted membership, but I didn't get a notice of that. So, okay, let's get Mark here in this.
go.
I didn't kill Lily and Jack.
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanted to know, like, what happened. It's been
Why does it do this? Every damn time.
You may play it from my end?
Would you try? Because we've been having some kind of issues with this computer. Do you want me to send you? You must have the link. Do you want me to send it to you? Let's see. One moment, guys. Let's see what's going on in the chat here.
Who's it with?
CBC.
CBC.
I know people from her res, they just as baffled by that. Yeah, and I'll tell you something. The res ain't gonna be too happy when the truth comes out either.
Yeah.
So whatever res they were allowed to be a part of, you might be probably kissing that goodbye too.
Yeah. Oh, play it, Cher.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I thought you were playing it already. Okay, here we go.
Stop.
everybody
Thank you.
basically in the world at this point is always wanted to know like what happened. It's been from sadness to anger at this point.
Just
and I
tell
know
me
the
when
RCMP and major crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything together. And
Our major crimes has been on it since day 2.
I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods. And where are they?
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course. The stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the...
Well, it's not just the stepfather. He takes that into account. You know, stepfather. Well, it's not just the stepfather. Even though he is right, stepfathers, step-parents in general have a higher risk of unaliving a child. It's still extremely low overall, but it does happen, right?
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
But you don't feel that now.
No, I don't feel that at all.
Well, and that's the thing. I saw you do that, Cher. The good stepfathers and stuff. There's wonderful step parents that stood up when nobody else would. Right.
Yep. There
And
is
they-
good step parents, y'all.
Absolutely. Of course. Absolutely.
I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them do drug
Hold
tests.
up.
There's a lot of...
No.
So
He wasn't just like, here, sir, take my phone. That wasn't even an option. Don't let him fool you with how he's talking like he's Mr. Nice Guy offering up these things. No. That shit wasn't even an option. And no, he didn't actually... It was always asked by the law who they thought was suspects because they're using it as a tool. Still can't be used. It's much like the states won't be used in a court of law or whatever. But it's a tool to help them be able to stay on someone or move on from someone and
Right.
tackle, they want to get this figured out. They don't want to be tunnel vision just on one person, one thing. So it wasn't offered and Daniel's idea or Malehya's idea. The law said, we would like you to poly. Are you going to? And I'll tell you something that I heard on the grapevine and on these streets, and you can almost take it for Bible. He didn't take it when he was first asked and had to wait. And then he was like, okay, I'll take it now.
I've heard that
Just
too.
so you're aware.
I've heard that too.
Believe me, don't believe me, but I believe
Yeah, I
types of
believe it.
people I heard it from.
I believe it.
Yeah.
What you're going to hear in this interview is not about Lily and Jack. You're going to hear about what Daniel says he has done and how good of a good boy he is. That's what you're going to hear. I told him I would do a polygraph. I gave him my phone. I told him I would do a drug test. Well, You
He's
know,
just
we're
like
6
Don.
weeks into this.
He told CPS to come keep his kids safe. Yeah.
What's that?
He's like Don Wells, where Don's like telling CPS, "Hey, will you come take my kids and babysit them for me?"
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Daniel, I get the feeling that Daniel deeply cares about what people think about him. Now, everyone cares to an aspect
That's
of
true.
what people think of them. And if they are saying they don't, they're absolutely lying, because everybody wants to be accepted and loved. But there is a point where if it is, you require to be happy or for approval of someone, that's the difference. Yes, praise me, people. Exactly, Fiend. Exactly. And Daniel's Innocence Tour. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Greatest hits is what I call it.
That's it. Yes, Trishy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rumors online about a drug party. I know the person that said those rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there
I wish she would have asked about that, because
Why is she not asking a lot of questions? She's dropping the ball a
I've
little.
got some messages with that that neighbor. Did I send those to you, Cher?
I'm not sure. Maybe you did.
It's it's the neighbor, and he swears that there was something there Wednesday or Thursday. And I mean, this is the thing that I don't understand, Cher. This neighbor who says, first they came out as anonymous, and I get that with what the neighbor is thinking, but then I also think, hey, these are 2 missing kids. Shut the fuck up and put your name out there. Pardon my
It's
French.
gonna get out there.
Right.
It probably already is.
So, but taking the heat off of him, he didn't have to say anything. What heat does he have on him? The neighbor doesn't have any heat on him. He said what he said.
Unless Daniel
I mean,
knows
to
he
me,
does have heat on him because the neighbor knows.
To me, it's Daniel and Malehya that has heat on them.
Mm-hmm.
He just
and
said
Daniel's
that.
mom.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Daniel says he just said this to take the heat off of him. That makes no sense. I can't make sense out of it.
No.
You hearing? I mean, listen.
that now?
No, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them that said those rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
To take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of gathering that someone might have thought was a party?
Not their kids missing. Is there heat
There were no
on
people
them?
at the house.
No, not the night before.
Okay, you mentioned you offered to take.
Notice how he says not the night before.
Yes.
And the neighbor has always said it was Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember. But he's like, I was just shocked when I heard the kids were missing Friday, because he's like, you know how like you have like this thing you'll pass or something, you'll have this thought in your head, and it's a judgment or whatever, and then you hear something happen to that person, you're like, I was just thinking about them. I was passing their house. It was just something like that. And he's just like, I just was kind of judging them, and he's like, a couple of days later there's kids missing. Any comments?
No.
Okay.
A polygraph test?
Yeah.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, it did.
And how did that unfold?
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
In his favor?
So when the first time he is asked this is he's in his yard, and she said, "You've been asked to take a lie detector test," and he's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Have you taken this?" And he said, "Yes," and she says, "Well, can you tell us if you passed?" And he says, "I'm not sure if I can tell you about those results." And then there's a pause, and then he says, "All I can say is it was good in my favor." That is not what an innocent stepfather
No,
says.
that's a weird thing to say for sure.
No,
Like,
because
that's
it's not
weird.
about anyone's favor.
Right.
This is about finding Lily and Jack. It's about, in the interest of Lily and Jack, finding them so you can be, looked at more or not as an investigative tool. That's it. Right?
Thank you, Trishy. Choo choo.
Welcome to the crazy train. Choo choo.
I need
Mother
a train
chicken.
sound. Mother chicken.
Any comments?
Yeah, what are you thinking so far?
Oh, yeah, I'm in agreement. It's the way he's talking about it is odd.
It's hard to hearing.
The
Use your
way
man
he's
voice.
speaking about this is odd.
He said, use your man voice.
I find it troublesome.
I'm telling you, Mark should do voiceovers.
I know.
He needs to get on Fiverr.
He
really
should
do.
do. I listen to like bedtime, like what's it called, hypnosis music to
Yeah.
help with like.
I listen to Weird History.
Yes, so I've
for
been
bedtime.
listening to like the stories and the histories and stuff like that. He could totally do those bedtime things.
So we could do it, yes.
You should just read to me to go to sleep.
Well, then I can't go to sleep.
I know.
I could do a pre-recorded thing.
Tammy, what are you thinking so far?
Well, I think he says a lot of odd things, like, they asked me, well, you haven't got to that part yet, so I won't say it, but he talks about them in past tense
Do you, Mohawk?
a lot, like Don Wells did.
Yeah, I get some of that. Yeah, Daniel. I think Daniel might be stoned for this interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, again, just remember and believe me over the words coming out of that man's mouth, but he was asked to do a poly and he had to wait to do a poly. And now with what's come out, we know why.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do get drug tested, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was interesting, too, that he said there wasn't a party that night.
Yeah, that night with a fucking shit grin on his face.
Yeah.
What does that say? Broken something. Welcome. Let me see what you say. To the person saying they said that take the heat off them, probably the one who provided the drugs and kids probably passed on them. Yeah, I think there's a lot of drugs going on in there. I think Daniel's mom was probably, because right away before I even knew meth was in the thing or math or whatever, I was like right away, like, why is she making them get a search warrant to go in her RV? There has to be drugs in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, take
If
the
it's-
heat off of him.
If not drugs in there, then there's blood in there. That was my honest to God thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And then
type of
the
evidence.
mess stuff comes out, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaning more she had drugs in there. And was she out there, like Tammy had told me, was she out there really fixing potholes at 6 a.m.? Or was she covering up footprints? Or was she doing something else? Or was she running dope to somebody?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody that fixes freaking potholes at 6 in the
No.
morning.
But to know she was out there that morning, just like everyone was around summer planting flowers, and this bitch is out there with a damn shovel on the side of the road.
Was it her yard she was in, or was she actually in like the
No,
high?
she was out at the end of the driveway.
She was at the end of the driveway
Hold
with a
on
shovel.
a second.
Huh.
I just thought of something.
What happened?
If she was out there that morning during potholes, and she said Malaya is coming back from the driveway.
What was Malaya doing up that time in the morning?
Well, no,
She said putting
she
kids
would
in
have
the
seen
car.
the whole fucking
She would
thing.
have saw
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's Malaya doing up at 6 if she's probably up to something?
I mean, they were all fucking up. Let's just be real.
Everybody was up. That's why they all, because she missed a phone call and just happened to call her brother back at the exact same time Malaya's allegedly calling 911 or the school, I mean. Come on. So all those adults were up and then asleep and then up and then asleep and then, oh, I'm at the end of the driveway with a shovel and then I'm asleep and then, oh, I didn't hear my dog bark or the dog barked, it didn't bark. Like, I don't fucking know. But they're all lying. Malaya is lying.
Exactly, CT.
Maybe it's possible Malaya is afraid of Daniel and his mommy. Because this is seeming like some real freaking
Well, if they're smoking
Norman Bates
meth,
shit.
they are
okay?
up for days.
He looks like Norman Bates too. This is some Norma and Norman Bates.
Yeah.
Yeah, something's not right.
Dogs went on vacation, right?
What is it with the dog?
Oh yeah, did they
Don
meet
Wells
all of the Wells' dogs on their
Yeah,
way?
I
Like,
was just gonna say that. Don Wells and his dogs. And
Yeah.
and his dogs. I mean, dang.
Tammie, it's always a problem with these damn dogs.
I know. They're never around. They never
No.
bark.
Daniel said it barked maybe one time, but maybe somebody was out there shushing the kids.
Well, Don
Fuck.
said his never bark, and they barked in the interview you had with him when he was standing outside.
Yeah.
Dog, Don's and Candace's dogs would bark before you got on Ben Hill Road.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
I know. I know.
Like the neighbor out there, they're
Yeah.
at the end of the road, their dog would bark, send a signal up on the hill. Those
Get 'em all
dogs would
going.
meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Some real. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Great. Thank you. Come in
Yeah.
for a polygraph test.
Yeah, it took a little while to set up, and
When did you do that test?
I don't know the exact date, but that would
I
be
do not know the date that you did that.
Now that we was talking about Daniel maybe not taking that polygraph test,
Mm-hmm.
this makes me wonder if he ever took one.
I think he took one, because the RCMP said they polygraphed people. I can't
Did it?
remember. I think. I don't know. I'll work on that. I'm
I
gonna.
can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember now, but I'm gonna look into that. But I thought the RCMP.
How would you
said
not
they
know
did
the
poly.
date though? But when he
But-
says, go ahead.
Yeah, the law is absolutely allowed to lie, and just much like everybody else, I mean, they're gonna let Daniel talk, they're gonna let Malaya
Yep.
talk, they're gonna let everybody talk, and they're not gonna be all like, no, Daniel, we didn't, they don't do that in any case or situation. They just don't do that because they have, they're professionals.
What he
and have
says
some
up here
class.
drives me nuts. It's his look.
at
They
least
could
3
have
weeks
told
ago,
him
probably.
he passed. They can lie and say that he passed and make him feel comfortable.
Yep.
So he messes up.
Absolutely.
Just like the states, it is the same. I looked it up and I asked people, and it is the same. So
Yep. Okay.
So roughly 3 weeks after the disappearance.
Yeah.
And I think most Canadians wouldn't have any idea what's involved with that. Can you describe the process? You go in and just tell us right from the start.
We go in, sit down in a big comfy chair, and they have multiple sensory pads. You have them underneath your forearms, you have them underneath your butt, and you have them underneath your feet with your shoes off. You have a sweat gland on one finger. You have a measuring instrument for blood flow that goes in and out of your hand, and you have a cuff on your arm for blood pressure to measure your pulse.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Especially with the first question I asked you, did you kill Lily and Jack?
That was the first question I asked you.
Yeah.
can you pause it, Justin, for a
What-
second?
Yeah. I know what you're going to. Yeah. Go ahead.
He's been studying polygraphs.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel. Yeah. Yep. I can sense it. I can sense it.
Yeah.
he's nervous as hell too.
Yeah.
He's not good with hiding his emotions.
No, he's trying his best, and you can see he thinks he is. But
Oh yeah,
I
but he's
would put
not.
him a little higher up on the narcissist scale with how he talks on these things a little bit. And a true narcissist will absolutely think that they can beat a poly anyways, and a lot of them actually can.
Yeah.
But this, yeah, it feels like, yeah, he's definitely researched polys. But then again, so have we, right? But yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
But
yeah.
the way he talks here in a little bit kind of makes me feel weird too. So I'm curious if Mark picks up on it.
Yep,
So.
I know which. Yep, me too.
yeah,
This is what I was talking about.
Okay.
What through your mind when someone's asking you that question so point blank like that?
Your mind has a massive release of chemicals, I guess you would call them. Just, it really, it's like your stress levels just
Sorry.
astronomically. It's like your stress levels just astronomically through the roof, and your body doesn't know what to do because it's not every day the way you're hooked up to machines in an interrogation room where someone asks you questions like that.
What other kinds of questions did they ask you?
All the questions pertain to the death of Lily and Jack. Are you accessory to
There it is.
the murder of Lily and Jack? They were all.
So all of the questions assumed that the children are no longer alive.
Yeah.
There were no questions at all about, did you take them somewhere? Could
No.
they be somewhere?
No.
The police have done a number of polygraph tests. They've done 53 formal interviews. Do you know who these people are?
Yeah.
That's a lot of interviews.
It is a lot of interviews. A lot of them are my family, people that live in the area. And those interviews, typically, my interview was 4 hours. And a lot of the interviews from my family were 1-2 hours. So there's a lot of time taken up, and they ask detailed questions.
Do you know who else actually took a polygraph test?
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to say anything that's going to impede the investigation.
Okay. When did you find out the result of your test?
Immediately right after.
What did they say to you?
You did a good job, you passed.
They said, "Good boy, Daniel."
Mm-hmm.
Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, let's activate.
So here's my thing, right? Like, I get, yeah, he was questioned about the kids being passed on, yada yada, but the way he says, and he says it a bunch of times in this, about the death, the murders, it's like he's
Yes, about
he's
the
like
death and
saying it
murders
as-
of Lily and
Yeah.
Jack. Like it's
Yes.
almost like yes,
and that's
Yep.
not. She's kind of just letting him talk, so she's not asking
it's already
him
happened.
like that.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's already happened. The death of Lily and Jack.
And if he's being questioned by the RCMP, like did the RCMP say the, or were they just like, did you kill Lily and Jack or whatever? He's saying about the murders, the deaths. Like, that is a statement. That's scary.
Yeah, it's very broad.
Mm-hmm.
Very broad statements.
What do you think about that, Tammie?
Questions rather.
Well, I think I caught it when they first did the interview. I'm like, why would he say they asked me about the murders of Lily and Jack if they're still open searching for him? And he says it's not a criminal investigation. Well, if they're no longer here, it is a criminal investigation. It should be a criminal investigation.
Well, to say about the death
Right.
and murder of Lily and Jack, it's just telling you where the RCMP thinks this is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
just it.
Mm-hmm.
They think that they are not alive. They've clearly said that part. They
Yeah.
didn't say how. But if Daniel's telling the truth there about the death and murder of Lily and Jack,
Mm-hmm.
we can't spell it out any more clearly. And I don't think that's a hickey on his neck. I think that's his birthmark.
Yeah, I think it's a birthmark.
Well, he's even ruling out that it could have been an accident.
Hi, nice Marie.
because he's saying death and murder. He's not even saying.
Yeah.
He's going
not-
straight to murder. He's not even saying an accident.
Well, and that's
Well,
what he was
he
asked
says-
in the polygraphs.
Yeah,
was
he
asked,
said
"Did
the
you
only
kill
questions he was asked was about the death and murder.
them?" Well, come on. Do you really think they didn't ask him where are Jack? Do you know where Jack and Lily are?
No, actually, I do. I don't believe him because I actually have an interview that he did talking about it, and I'm trying to find it because he admitted that they asked him other questions. So why is he lying here? Oh, thanks, Justin. My heart almost came out of my mouth with my entire meal.
Oh.
What do you mean, Charlotte? Did I scare you?
Hi, Canadian veteran.
Okay. Any other
What do you think so
questions, comments, concerns?
far? Is it weird how he's saying that, or?
Yeah, it's weird. And I'm pretty sure he's on something.
That
Can't
freeze
understand
point
you,
of him
Mark.
on point. Yeah, that picture of him all smug, like he thinks yeah.
Oh, he's so smug here. Watch this.
You did good job. It
Look at him.
passed.
Good job, Daniel. Danielson.
He's
He thinks he's fooled them.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
he-
on something there.
Yeah.
He's on something on that for sure. You guys
yeah,
are right.
I think he smoked some weed there or something,
you know it,
probably.
chat. Weed?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just see his eyes glassy.
I'm like, don't offend weed. No.
No, I mean, I
No, you're right. No, that's
don't care if
possible.
someone smokes weed or not. That's the last thing I care about.
He definitely smoked on some indica then, because that is.
I
Yeah,
just think
he's-
he's full of shit. Is what I think.
That wouldn't be his first question. Yeah, right away. Are they dead? And if they are asking that, they have something that they're just not telling everybody. Again, RCP is. I'm not happy with how they treated Courtney Strubble's case, but they were on it immediately with this. And here's where they done fucked up. These guys were all doing their meth and doing whatever and being toxic and losing kids, and there was searches going on for someone else. So never in their life did they ever expect us to blow up like it has. And I am so happy. Okay.
Yeah.
God works in mysterious ways, let me tell you, because this is not what they were expecting. They absolutely were expecting search people and the cavalry to be there within 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. You need to watch my YouTube short. I talk about that last night. I made a whole video for Danny. Little Danny boy. Look at him right there. He's got his little hair up in the air and all that.
Yeah.
He's got his little meth scars healing up. Bless his heart. Okay.
And how did that feel?
Good.
And did you feel that there was any further suspicion on you after
Somebody
that point,
get him
or
a
was that
cookie.
sort of conclusive?
No, that was
Cookies.
really
Ooh.
when I seen the turning point for it's starting to taper off.
How tall is he? Does anyone know?
Hmm.
I picture him as kind of short.
I feel like he's maybe like my size. I'm like 5'5".
You're only 5'5"?
Yeah. Well, I don't.
you were
I mean,
probably
last
that.
time I checked, I might be like 5'3" now. I don't fucking know.
I know. From the
I
same
don't know.
age.
He looks like an average man.
I think he's probably my height ish, maybe shorter. I don't know. I think he's about 5'8", maybe.
Oh, sorry, countryside, because I'm yelling.
I just had to turn down the TV. It's past 11 here. Yeah, it's almost
Countryside.
midnight here.
Oh shit.
Okay, let's undelay.
5'7".
But this is what he says after this polygraph. They slacked off. Daniel, let me tell you something.
I don't know. Let's just call
Whenever
Daniel.
law enforcement is quiet, they're trust me, they're not quiet behind the scenes.
It's really when I seen the turning point for it's starting to taper off with investigators.
Do you know if Malaya has taken one?
I don't know if I can say it, but I will anyway. Yes, she did take one.
Okay, she took one. Do you know the
He
result?
wants to act
No.
like he's giving us some
RCMP wouldn't
tea,
want to
but
tell me I asked.
You said you feel like everyone in the world wants to know what happened to Lily and Jack.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think this is getting so much attention?
I heard Netflix wants to
Well,
hear.
just mysterious and
Oh yeah, there's been a lot on Facebook.
Has anyone like just tried to give Daniel? Sorry, didn't mean to yell. Has anyone like ever just like picked up the phone and tried to call this man? Because I hear he likes to be like on the YouTube streets and the Facebook streets. Like, has anyone ever tried to like just call him and ask him questions? Or
I've messaged
probably.
him, but he blocked me.
What?
Mm.
What's he on? Obviously, he likes Facebook, right?
Yeah, but I messaged him again from a different account one night, and I said, Daniel, I want you to know, I know you're probably taking this very personal, but I said, it's not personal for me. It's never personal for me. It's all about finding Lily and Jack, and we want you to be in the same, the same way with us. And that's, what us all pretty much has us confused is it seems like you are trying to tell different stories and all that. Durwood hung up on me.
Durwood. Well, Durwood's just pot stirring anyway. Is anyone taking him serious?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I think he's just trying to get in that RV. That's all I think he's trying to do. Okay.
Adjusted, got the fiery
nature of everything and how strange everything is. The RCMP, I mean, they have to keep a tight lip on everything, but there's a lot more that meets the eye with the case.
He says that all the time.
So it
in
is a
text
case.
Messages. Yeah, it is a case. Of course.
It is a case. Because in my opinion, 2 kids alive doing well and they're, living their best life, that's not a case, right? But he's talking the deaths, the murders, the case, and that somebody should be in prison, so.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so.
Is there something that you think the public doesn't know that you can share that you want the public to know?
That's a hard one because I don't want to impede the investigation in any way. It is still a missing persons investigation. It hasn't pivoted to any type of criminal investigation. But the kids were seen the day before.
The kids?
I know a lot of people didn't know that. I still see a lot of stuff online that
Good time to say Jack and Lily.
the kids could have been missing for days. They were out of school for days. And they were seen in the Glasgow area on camera.
Wait, Justin, can you pause again?
The
Sorry.
disappearance
No, don't be
in the afternoon.
So I don't like how he's saying the kids, the murder, the death, but the kids. When I saw a text message around these streets somewhere where it was, I did everything for them. Malaya pulled back. I did everything. They called me dad, and I had to do this, and I did this, and he was all about Lily and Jack. But this is on CBS News, y'all, or CBC News, one of the two, okay? And this is a really, really good time to be Jack and Lily Sullivan. Jack and Lily.
Yes.
That's what we call distancing yourself.
Yes.
Those kids, the kids. Not the one you were just texting people somewhere on the streets about Mr. Dad.
Especially the ones you do everything for, right?
Yes, exactly.
If you do everything for them, you wouldn't be distancing. That's it would be very, very personable to you.
Yes, countryside, not even my kids, or our kids.
Where
It's
was that?
The kids.
I don't know if I can say that, but it was near the Highland Square Mall.
Was it with you?
It was with me, Malehya, and Meadow, and Willie and Jack were there too.
And are the police aware of that?
The police were aware of that since.
Do they have that video?
Yes, they do. I also talked to my coworker in the parking lot as well, and he verified that with investigators as well.
So here they are setting up alibis again.
For all the speculation, they were gone days ahead of time, or they were seen the afternoon on camera before the disappearance.
Why do you think the police are asking for video dating back?
I feel like he was
You
going to
know,
say something
dates.
else right there before the, and then he disappearance. Do you notice how he did that?
Why do you think the
On camera before the disappearance.
Yeah.
Why do you
See
think
it?
the police are asking for video dating back, days before that?
Well, the reason for that is they want to see the traffic of the vehicles on the roads in the area, right? Maybe vehicles that were traveling that area a lot over the last few days prior to hand, or vehicles that weren't seen in the area, or vehicles that were seen in the area, like
So the
local
comings
people
and
that are,
goings to your flop
you know
house,
what I mean, making
where people are
frequent
getting
trips
drugs
past
from.
the house. Or,
Yes. Trap house.
Trap house.
Trap RV.
Yeah.
Trap trailer.
2 trailer parkers go around the outside, round the outside, round the outside.
Which
Yeah,
it's
the
all,
coworker's
it's all
weird. Was that
considered
Durwood?
evidence. I mean,
What's that?
Is Durwood the coworker?
I think it's Durwood's son, allegedly.
Oh,
Perhaps.
okay, so not too far a stretch. And so are they wheeling and dealing the math, or?
I don't know. Durwood said, did someone said they got his house burnt down? And he was saying that he got his house burnt down because of this case.
What?
I have no idea if that's true, but that's what someone said in chat the other day. He's like, I got my house burnt down.
Okay.
I'm like,
I
don't know if
have
he got his
not
house
heard
burnt
that.
down.
That's not been on the news.
I don't know. He came in my channel a couple days after he hung up on me, and he cussed me and all of that.
That's right,
And,
because you weren't letting him talk or something, which was BS. Because I was listening to that. And,
I was asking him if 80%,
the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man.
who lives on Drury Lane?
Yes, I know the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
I'll keep going. I have no idea. He said he got evicted because all of this is what I heard him say a few times. Yeah. Something. I was being very, I was not being an asshole to him by any stretch of the imagination.
No, you were not. No.
But I would just say, he would say some wild accusation, and I would say, well, how do you know that? And if you ask him, he took that as a challenge. And I told him just to elevate your argument then, don't talk to me. Don't talk to anyone on YouTube. Go to the RCMP.
Yep.
If you know 80% of this,
Shouldn't be on YouTube.
and you know a percentage already of how much is solved when you don't even know how big the case is, well, he didn't even know what a damn timeline was, Cher.
Oh,
He's
wow.
like, and I love Sonny, but he's like, Sonny's teaching me what a timeline is, and I'm like, yeah, but 80%. 80%.
Thank God for Sonny then, because, dude.
I was not 1407 Drury Lane. Thank you, Drippy. Yes.
Yeah, he was being Norman Bates' new nickname. Yes, Little Mama.
More pictures and videos is the better.
They say they
Thank
have
you, Big Nose.
hundreds of hours of video. Do you know if they've found anything on those videos?
I think it was up to 2 weeks ago, they had footage that they examined for evidence that was 8 kilometers diameter out from the house.
AKA
So
5 miles.
that's, I mean, that was after a month. That's how long it took to get footage and review it 8 kilometers out. So
But what's on the video?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, he knows. He knows. Look at him. Watch him. Watch him how he does.
So
But what's on the video?
See that? Watch it. See his eyes goes down? Now watch. He's smiling. He got uncomfortable. He moved his legs in. He moves his feet, and he moves his fingers.
do it 8 kilometers out. So
But what's on the video?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm only limited by what they tell me.
Why is it
You know,
funny?
mother
How
chicken.
often are they in touch with you?
Investigators now, I'd say maybe once every 5 days. And usually I'm the one who calls or messages them.
And how's that changed over the course of the 6 weeks?
Well, from the beginning, it was almost daily, tapering off to where it's only like once every 5 days now.
And how do you feel about that?
It's good. It's good and bad. I mean, I like to talk to them in person about any little small details I come up with or anything I can
Whoa.
try to bring to
No,
their
wait, hold
attention,
up.
which may help.
That you come up with?
Yeah,
You shouldn't know anything.
that's my problem. Why what you come
How about
up
they
with?
come up with?
Yeah, like why are
they
you
come
asking
up
them what
with?
they're coming up
I
with?
would
Why?
like, yes.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
You should be just as confused as everyone else, if not more, because you lived through it.
Yeah, that is, yes, Canadian veteran, the nervous laugh. It makes me laugh. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. He's all me, 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 me.
Yes. It's Daniel.
Investigation. So I don't get to see them often. So it's always over phone or messaging, and it's hard to really convey what you want to say when you're not in person. But
Stop
then I
doing
also
mess.
know
Then stop doing mess. Be a dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm wondering, Malehya's sister, Malehya said he's been doing it for the last 2.5 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, has drugs always been a problem for him? Is this more of a recent thing? Has it escalated? You know, you started out with something and worked your way up. You know,
I'm not fully convinced. Maybe mommy didn't get him into something.
1,000%.
I know how trailer parks work.
1,000%. I mean, respectfully, sure, like no one could be okay living in that fucking RV that is held together by a rubber roof that's on with a chimney out of it and a fucking dog barking on the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
How does he afford it? Meth is pretty cheap.
Yeah. If someone's running it or they're in some kind of, yeah, I mean.
You know, something's very wrong here.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason she didn't let them in the camper. You know, Daniel's mom, something about the cabinet. And again, right away, before I even thought, you know, bodily fluids, my mind went right to, she's got drugs in there.
Yeah, well, and just the whole fact of her saying, "Mom," you know, they're saying, "Mom," they're not blaming you.
Yeah.
This
she also
was
had
the
guilty
next
conscience, for
morning.
sure.
They had nobody. They just wanted to check to see. You never know where a kid is hiding, and they have to clear it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
wasted their
Justin's
time.
decline. To me, it's very odd. And there's this secrecy around whether he was there or not, and saying that no, he was not there. And I think, in my opinion, it's because both are boys. Her sons, were on the property, and two of her kids could be in trouble.
Mm. Oh, dude only works 1 day a week, if that, because he doesn't want to have to pay child support. Guarantee you. And if he's living with mommy, trust me, I know how that goes. Mommy probably helps him stay off those papers so that he doesn't have to pay child support. Just saying.
She supposedly has another home in town.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Well, either way, they give me very much Norma and Norman Bates vibes, so she's gonna help her little baby there with everything. So yeah, he if he works the 1 day, which I've been hearing around, that's honestly, yeah, he doesn't want to pay child support. That's my opinion.
It's crazy.
The eye's not on me. The investigators don't see me as part of the disappearance.
How do you know that?
I want you to listen to how many times he says me.
Oh God.
Well, when you're going from daily to tapering off every 5 days,
it's all about clearing it.
I mean, I've already gave them everything on my phone. I'm the one who originally said, here, take my phone.
Me.
We'll go through all my banking information. We'll go through all my stuff on my GPS from Google.
And you were offering all that up right from
Yeah,
the
I
beginning.
offered everything.
And why were you doing that?
Banking
To
information.
show them that I want to get the investigation moving. I know I have nothing to do with any of it. A lot of speculation is you killed the kids. Let's come out and say it straight as it is.
What do you think when you read that?
It's a lot of nonsense, obviously.
Not at all, sure.
I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack. And
he
I
did
just
not
think a lot of
close his
people
eyes
online
while he
just-
said he knows the truth, but then closes his eyes while he says it.
Yeah. Oh, he's. Yes, Caper. He watches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You tag that man's
They're
name,
seeking
he's
drama.
watching.
Yep.
That's the main thing. Everybody's allowed their own opinion, like I said before, but it's hard on the people that were actually there and missing the children. Still haven't got to see any of my kids, including Lily and Jack.
I think it's interesting. I haven't got to see any of my kids, including Lily and Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To me, he separates them
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He for sure
as them
did.
not being his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's been really tough, going from a family of 7, including my other 2 kids that live in Halifax now. Going from a family of 7 in the blink of an eye, your family's ripped apart and you're left alone.
There you go.
What'd you think, Tammie?
I think he's has a lot of guilty knowledge.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Damn, Daniel.
Back at it again with the white fans.
What'd you think, baby? What do you think of that?
Yeah, he was definitely choosing his words carefully.
Mm-hmm.
And he was being very sure not to give the wrong information.
So they
Just
really
like
put
everyone else in these fucking cases.
Yeah. They really put polygraph little things under your butt.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, there's all different kinds. And to be honest, you know what remember Canada's got in trouble for this, but sometimes they fuck with people. Like, there's been times where they've, like, rigged up and just made a polygraph where someone thinks they're being polygraphed, but really it's, like, a strainer and like duck. Like it's crazy what they'll do in Canada to some people.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows what they really did to him to try and get the truth, but he's saying he's not a suspect. I never met a bigger idiot in my life.
I'm wondering now.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know this, but there is levels to lie detector tests. Some are more accurate than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if they were sending in the polygraph that is a lot more accurate, because most people has just a polygraph, but there is polygraphs that are much more accurate than the standard polygraph.
I hear
Yeah.
they flew out very good polygrapher, so
This is a very high profile case, so I figured they
he's dumb. Yes, Charlotte.
But
I
also them saying that he passed, that doesn't mean that he passed either.
hell no it doesn't. I don't
Right.
believe he passed for
'Cause
a second.
they can lie to you in Canada too. So they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, good job, buddy." And
Yep.
someone get Daniel a cookie.
Give him back his
Exactly.
phone so he can.
Hold on, I want to.
And we're tracing it.
I'm curious. Did Dad I'm curious what does Dad think about Daniel? Like actually watching it.
I would like to talk to Daniel just about his life, and I would completely honor just talking to him about his like childhood and not asking him
like
any
off the
que-
record privately.
Yeah,
Give Justin a call.
Forwarded to voicemail. The person you're
Dad. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, he's pooping.
Hi, Mr.Cher. Hi, Dale. Random. Did they fly the person in from Ottawa? That's what I heard. I heard it was from Ottawa.
That's interesting.
Our CMP are very skilled at reading characters. I think he's open book to them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think Malaya and any of them are fooling very many people.
No. No, I don't. You're going to the beach and doing your makeup and everything is weird.
Yeah, one of the family members contacted me while they were at the beach. As soon as that went out.
So even
And-
some of the family is not comfortable with that behavior.
Oh, her
wanted it
family was
outed.
not comfortable at all. Like that sealed the deal. And people's like, well, what? Is she not allowed to go to the beach? Fuck yeah, go to the beach. But the thing is, you are looking like you
An
are
idiot.
off Baywatch. Oh, God, I'm old.
No, she
and
thought she was Yasmin Bleeth.
yeah. And you're living your best life. Hi, Dale. You're living your best life. And that's just like you have not put out a sentence via social media interview other than 2 minutes in the last 2 months. And I find that extraordinarily disrespectful for Lily and Jack.
Yeah. What was that? The only time I saw her talk, which I'm so sorry, but there are times I get her confused when I see her on that one. She reminds me a lot of how Leilani looked.
I find Malaya very flat. You know, I think Leilani was she was more animative.
Yeah. Yeah. She was a better actress. Or whatever. Like she could put it on for the camera. Is this it?
Charlotte, I don't behavior panel.
And I want them home.
I watched that.
I'm not fans of them. I'm just not. They sold out, in my opinion, a long time ago. I
Amen.
don't even watch them. I don't even watch
agree. I had a conversation with who was my favorite. He's actually still my favorite, but I was just like, this isn't right. But I knew it wasn't right when they were all agreeing and actually backing the Cups and Gabby Petito's case. That's when I said, I'm out. Nope.
I think they are more for their sponsors now than they are anybody.
Yeah.
They're big ass sponsors. That's where you.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm just staying as hopeful as
Exactly,
possible. I
Charlotte.
want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home.
Then tell the
What
truth.
happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out
Okay,
of sleep.
that was a
and they're not
psychopath.
the type of
Hold
kid
up.
beside us. What happened?
Crying and
I want to
stink.
hold them.
Well, not even really crying.
Staying
She's
as
going from
hopeful as
this
possible. I
to
want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up,
The
I heard
crying
them
voice
playing
went
in
away.
the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep, and they're not the type of kids we tell them
Okay.
not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out.
that doesn't even make sense. We don't tell the kids not to go outside by themselves, but we're always out there.
Right.
Okay. Are you really now, Candace? Like, come on. What is going on?
Yeah.
They actually think that these are good lies and like they are fooling the globe at this point, and it's bad. There's not even a tear right there, all right? This girl
I
knows what happened.
have almost secondhand embarrassment for them,
It-
to be
it's
quite honest with
Very
you.
cringy to watch sometimes. It's like, ugh, are you serious? You thought this was a good look? Girl. You want your kids home. How she says it. I'm sorry. Hold on. She says it weird.
I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home.
Okay.
I wanna
So
hold
bring
them.
them home. Take the time when you're on that camera there, when you're... Whoever has my kids, please bring them home. We're done with this. Bring them back now.
Right.
I want my babies back. I want to hold them, like she says, which is obviously a lie, but she sure is secure. Like, I have no doubt she knows exactly what happened to those kids. But she does a little gulp right here where it's like she knows they're not coming back. Hold on.
I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them.
Right there.
And I want them home.
Right. Yeah, she knows that's
What
not
happened
possible, in
was
my
we
opinion,
woke
right
up, I
there.
heard them playing in the next room beside us.
I'm crazy, I know.
And I was drifting in and out of sleep, and they're not the type of kids we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them.
Okay, that's a
And
messed up
they
thing to
happen
say.
just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing.
How do you know, though?
We weren't aware of it at the time.
Cher.
And
Wait, but how
the
is she? How does she know they for sure? I hate when people already have a story. I hate that. How they went out these sliding glass doors and it's so quiet. You know, we just didn't hear them, but they went out those doors. What?
How do you know?
Yeah.
Not we think they went out these doors. But you know,
This girl.
Daniel told City News Halifax and I think it's CBC
Yep.
that he heard the sliding glass doors. Heard them go out the sliding glass doors?
He did?
Yes, let me show
I
you.
haven't heard that.
Oh yeah, let me show you.
You guys suck. This is not good work, Malaya. Hello, Kitty. Are we for serious right now? Get out of here. Look at her. Look at her face right there. What are you doing? Not a tear in sight.
It's bad.
She looked to
Yeah.
the left too. Wanted them home. So yeah, she knows that's not happening. Those kids, she didn't just say, I want to escape Danny because it's Daniel, I guess it could be Danny, because it's not safe here or whatever. Okay, so then you leave, you're away from Daniel, and kid's still missing for weeks and weeks. So you guys, no. we're not buying what these people are selling because it's got meth in it, okay? It's not right. She pulled a Chris Watts in this interview. You know what? Similar. These people sure have some matching behaviors, yeah. Teresa. She's What happened?
I'm just looking. I'm trying to find that article.
Okay, I'm gonna play a little more of this. Or is she done? It's pretty
We
quick.
knew it was quiet, and we get up and I tell him my playing, but them, and they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens.
They just so
Let's
happen.
make sure that we're out there with them, watching them, and they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but
How do you know?
we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up and I tell him my partner.
No. Wait, no. This girl, Malaya, you need some help.
How do you know if it was quiet? I mean,
right.
if you were asleep.
So you were sleeping, you didn't know they were playing. So Daniel says they're loud. So all of a sudden it was quiet. So were you hearing noises, then it got quiet, or you woke up again and then it's quiet when you wake up? Like, what the hell is she talking about? This is not good. She thinks that both of these people think that this is helpful, and it's honestly makes what I have left of a brain hurt. Okay? Like, this is not good. She should just shut up.
I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere.
You both were? Because Daniel makes it sound like only he was out there looking. Well, you're in on your phone canceling the bus.
And I instantly just call 911.
Just instantly. You didn't go outside and look at all. You just instantly call 911. What? Daniel says she was inside and he was out looking, not her. She says Daniel never went out looking for my kids. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Who are we supposed to believe when you have liar and liar? I'm only believing Belinda at this point, okay? The one that I was thinking a little rough of before is the only one that I can trust right now in this situation. Yeah, that one stopped working too. Our computer's not pulling things up very good, but that's okay. Mark was working on it earlier, and he'll work on it.
Well, they
again
can't be outside playing, but you didn't hear them. So how would you know they were outside playing if you didn't hear them?
Right. Could you make any sense of that, Tammie?
Here you go. I'll make it. I'll make it make sense for you. Look here.
Oh, good. I love a translator.
Okay. In an earlier interview on May 5th, he said he and the children's mother, MalehyaBrooksMurray, had been together for more than 2 years. He said they moved to Lansdowne Station about 2 years ago, and he confirmed the couple had a 16-month-old infant named Meadow. Martell has said that the three of them were in the bedroom of the family's home on the morning of May 2nd when he saw Lily and Jack. He said Lily was wearing a pink top when she poked her head through the doorway in their bedroom. Minutes later, listen to this. Minutes later, he said he heard the sliding door that leads to the backyard open and close. Martell said then a few minutes later, he set out to find the children, driving his vehicle on the back roads and looking into culverts along the way. He also told I believe it was the CBC, that as well. So do I, Charlotte. So do I, but I can't. I don't.
I'm not sure what he wants, like, all of this. And the way I see him talking now, like, I really do think he thinks that this is going to be, like, on Prime or Netflix or some kind of documentary. And I think that's why he's trying to look put together and, like, he talks wisely and then her. There isn't anything to make a movie with right now, people. Netflix doesn't
The
want
last
this
thing he
mess.
should be thinking about is a fucking movie when he
That's
should
what
be
I'm
thinking
saying.
about finding Lily and Jack and telling the damn truth.
That's very Don Wells, by the way. Remember Don
Yeah.
Wells? Hey, Cher, we got to plan that $1 million pay-per-view where I'm going to
Sure do.
confess
Yep.
and then I'm
Yep.
going to talk about my church.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that reminds me of. Yeah. He told her they went out the door, and his mom said she heard them outside. Yeah, I mean, which time? When she had the shovel, or like what?
Yeah.
All of these people were awake, went back to sleep, awake, and in and out of sleep, and
So they were up. The kids were up too at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that makes everybody up at 6 o'clock.
Yes, and
well, listen, if they really went to bed between 7 and 9 p.m. the night before, and they're not waking up, like, so you're not seeing a 4 and 6-year-old for 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours. But then he said something else, and I think it was played on Justin's channel because I remember doing the math. And so anywhere between 11 and 14 hours, these kids were not seen by adults. A 4 and 6-year-old. Now, I'm sorry, call me crazy, that's fine. But when my kids are toddlers,
preschool,
when they were sleeping, they're so stinking cute, I would peek in on them 100 times, right? Like, no. There ain't no way 11 to 14 hours is going by where I don't know where my 4 and 6-year-old is, even if they aren't in my house with me.
Their breathing. I go and check my kids' breathing 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
I'm just that person, you know. I'm just crazy like that, but you know. But Daniel says in other interviews that they don't hear the sliding door.
Right. So which is it? And I guess that's the first thing she did, Belinda, was, hey, look at these doors, trying to sell it. And that reminds me of, hey, you guys, come look at this. And he's running down the dog trail. Like, okay, us watching you do it, Dawn, doesn't make me believe it more. Like, what are we doing?
It does not,
No.
Especially him doing it.
Belinda also stated that Malehya told her the last time she seen the children was when she put them to bed. That's my point. You are mom, and you know that there's meth in your house, and you allowed a 4 and 6-year-old for anywhere between 11 to 14 hours go undocumented to you.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But you were so afraid for you and the kids' safety. But this is what's happening. I can't. Nope. I don't buy it. There ain't no way.
See, this is the thing. We all of us generally have a very similar behavior when it comes to the well-being. Like we parent differently, but there are certain innate things that we do as parents, right? We put the kids to bed, right, when they're little. We make sure that they're tucked in. We go in and check on them at least a couple times during, you know, that period of time.
Absolutely.
You know, you're going to, if you're up at 6:15 canceling the school, you're going to go in there and check, especially if they've been sick for 2 days. I don't know why 2 sick children are going to run outside and, you know, head for the damn woods.
I know that's right. 2 of my kids are in their 20s. I don't go 14 hours without seeing them. Like,
Not a chance.
I don't. Do you guys mind do you have a few minutes? I was going to share the link and see if anyone wanted to pop up one person at a time and run anything by while they've got the three of us up here before I end the show.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
I've got a few
then,
more minutes. It's 12:17, but yeah.
Okay.
A few more minutes.
I'm going to drop the link here and let one person up at a time if you guys want it, because I don't do the Google number. I'd love to do like a call-in show like Justin does, but I don't have I'm not giving my cell phone number out to everybody. But there's the link there if anyone would like to pop up.
When you want.
I have to figure out how to get a Google number and do that, but I would love to do that.
2 clicks.
You'll have to show me how to do that.
Free.
Okay. Teach me this week.
No problem.
Sometime, please, and thank you. I am going to just try and pin that quick. And I've, of course, asked Tammie, like, what she's been feeling. You've done cards on this case, Tammie, yet?
Yes.
Okay. Do the cards match kind of what you're seeing in behavior, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh, interesting. And Belinda seems to think that the kids are past, and I'm going to go with Grandma's intuition. There we go. He said Brooks-Murry left the home the day the search began. Ending communication with him. Well, I don't know, because he went on his Facebook and said, took it out of a relationship, and now on Facebook it says he's in a relationship again. So I thought that was interesting.
Do we know if the kids' boot impression is kids' weight? We have no idea. No idea.
Yeah.
Those boots are that was a set. That's
set up. The blanket is a setup. Yeah.
1000%. I just sent you the link to the Google thing. All you have to do is just sign in with whatever Google you want, and you can select a number from anywhere you want.
Wait, how quick does this happen?
And just make sure you don't link it with your regular phone, like your contacts. When it says link your contacts,
don't do that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to work on this tomorrow, y'all, and we'll do a call-in show next time.
I think there's a 10-hour discrepancy in when they reported I'm missing.
Do you?
Yeah.
2 hour.
10.
Oh.
You think there's 10?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean like the night before?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 I think it's very possible.
Yeah.
You would think she called, I mean, maybe, but if you listen to Daniel's mom, she had the kids out on the road and got them in a car. And she hasn't told but she still hasn't come out and talk. She's got Derwin out there being her mouthpiece.
That's the problem, though. Daniel has said things prior to that story that it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. She has not confirmed that she called the school.
No. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, I booted Justin. Oh my gosh, I'm such a bitch. That was an accident, obviously. I thought I was getting rid of a screen because I thought I had to do it to pull something else up. And I booted Justin in the middle of him talking. Whoopsie.
Yeah, I believe in my cards too that I said 10 hours. About 10 hours. And I still feel that way after things have been going on. I still feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Now, you guys, I have to drop you Tammie's link from last night's live because she went over one of my old shows where it was just a study session in the Summer Wells case. Specifically, we were focusing more so on Rosemary Bly. Yeah. And Justin, I am so sorry. Oh my God. I didn't know that that screen was you. And yeah, I
Did you kick me?
I did. I'm so sorry.
I was just like here, and I was just like, oh, I thought she ended it. I thought she accidentally hit the wrong button or something.
Share
like, it's
rage
kicking-
quit again.
Kicking me.
My bad. I'm sorry. That was stupid.
I think I did
Justin got yeeted.
Yeet! Yeet!
Yeet.
I think it was Wednesday night, Cher. I have to look at my thing.
Wednesday night, yes. Let me get that link because Justin, you have to watch this live too.
Yeah, it was.
We forget some things we've done in the Wells's case. Send me the link, sis, would you, in Facebook, and then I'll copy and paste it.
I did it on the 5th.
You guys have to check it out because we forgot about a certain suspect and certain somebody, and I don't know how more people didn't take that shit and run with it.
I don't either.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much because it, like, shocked me and I didn't remember. And then I was like, how could this be? Like, why didn't... I am shocked more people didn't do anything about this. So, anyways, I'm going to share the link in the chat. And you guys check it out on your free time. You can speed it up so that, you know, or if you're driving and want something to listen to, I would recommend it because people are going to be like, whoa.
Well, we're having a study session tomorrow night or Wednesday night. Let's see, what's tonight? Monday?
Yep.
I love a good study session.
I think Wednesday night on Mr. Man.
Okay, yes. I can't remember his name now, but Justin, you should definitely join that one because even you're going to be like, what the hell? We forgot about this. And you're going to go, whoa. It's crazy.
There's so many connections. He can't have the same address.
Yeah, as where Rose's car went missing, and he's actually tied, I guess, allegedly a cousin. We talked about him briefly, but no one ever went. And anyways, I did this study session that a lot of people weren't in. And yeah, his last place of residence on June 16th, 2021. So the day after Summer was reported missing was he was at 110 Ben Hill Road. But then he was also living in, well, because apparently he's a cousin, or that, you know how that goes, the cousin to Grandis or something like that. But anyways, he was seen in the area when Rose's car was being found, or when Rose went missing, something. But yeah, he was also seen in the area June 16th in Tennessee, the day after Summer was reported missing. And he's been to prison for child rape.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why we didn't really.
I don't either. The streets didn't really do a lot on this guy. And so I think it would be good for all of us to do something, whether we clip a short or clip a video or whatever, but definitely see if you can join with me and Tammie on when? You said Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm going to do it Wednesday.
Okay.
And then
time?
I usually do it about 7 or 8.
Okay.
And I was told, oh, he was here, he was there. And I'm like, well, you go down every avenue, no matter how little or big it looks, because it's part of the case and you don't know. It could lead somewhere. It may not lead somewhere, but you don't know unless you follow that path and what's going on in that connection.
You gave the link to this live.
I gave it to
Oh, that's this live?
Pretty sure. Hold on.
I gave you the link. You want me to give it to you?
Is it your link, Tammie?
Nope,
oh, okay.
Nope. I got it. Sorry.
Perfect. Yeah, you guys make sure you take that and watch it when you have time.
No, wait.
And...
It is this live. It is this live.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll get it.
Because when I pulled the video to go over to discuss on my channel, I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like,
unhappy pussy.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, does Cher remember this? So I sent her a message. I'm like, I don't think you remember the video the way you do.
She was like,
Michelle,
why?
this is not live.
Copy link. Okay, hold on.
Michelle Davis, this is the future. You're in it.
Okay, there we go. That's the right one. Replaced right now in the pinned message. You guys take that. Now, I said earlier I wanted you guys to keep me on my not smoking a joint. And you guys will hear, because you'll hear like this, okay? You hear that? You cuss me the hell out. No weed while we are talking cases on live streams no more. Also,
You'll
I
hear a
want my
lot of
camera
snack
on.
wrappers.
Yeah.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, but I also want to have my camera on because that's a big reason I also did my dreads. I'm like, I'm gonna have my camera on more. I'm feeling myself, whatever. So you guys, you know what? So that no more smoking joints while I'm live and talking with y'all about important missing children. Okay, that's to help me research, and my camera on. Okay, y'all keep me to it, please and thank you.
Sure.
So, Justin, you're on the bottom, so I'll just ask you. And then, Tammie, if you have anything you'd like to end the show with, I appreciate both of you for joining me. I know you guys are super busy with your real lives and then also your channels. So when you join me over here for little friendly debates and conversations, I love it. And I really appreciate your guys' time. Justin?
I love it too.
Well, just thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Glad to be able to hang out with Justin. I don't get to hang out with him much. I go in his chat and hang out, but I stay in the bushes. There, but I'm
bushes.
yeah, I'm
Well,
low.
it's too small and it's too dark to decorate.
I'm
Get out
low.
of the house.
I love when you say that too.
I speak and then I go back in the bushes, but I'm there. So, but I will let you go. I will step down. I'll be in chat, and y'all have a lovely what's left of the night.
You
Love you,
too.
sis. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, kitty kitty.
But yeah, you know it's that time of night to do what I don't
Cats
know.
get crazy at night.
I know. I don't know what it is, and they're just
Mine
They become
did.
Psycho.
Now mine are getting older, so as soon as I lay down and I put my arm like this, Matthias is
asleep.
right there sleeping with me, and Chubbs is over there. Yeah, we need
Matthias
a bigger bed.
kitty.
They're so cute.
I know.
I send Tammie so many pictures of the cats and Mark sleeping. It's probably weird.
Bye.
Bye, sis. Love ya.
Night. Well, thank you so much for having me share. I really do appreciate you. I hope something happens sooner than later. Daniel, Malehya, Junkyard Janie, y'all know what happened to Lily and Jack. The first one, the talk,
I think so.
will have more respect from me and everyone else.
And you absolutely, at some point, will be walking. I'll tell you that.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, they will. They will.
Yeah.
It's we need to find where these babies are so they can be laid to rest in because I don't believe they're alive. I don't think anybody, RCMP says that very clearly as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk. Thank you so much for having me, love. I appreciate you. Thanks to everybody in chat. Much love.
Love
everyone.
you. Thank you, Justin.
Of course. Of course. All right, guys. I'll let you end it out. Wrap it up, sis.
I got the best friends. Thank you, everyone in chat. I appreciate everyone hanging out over here. I like when it's a nice mellow night and we can have discussions and everyone's getting along. You don't have to agree with me. It's just my channel, my opinions, and my friends don't even agree with me, okay? Kentucky Girl, thank you so much for that super chat, and thank you for being a member for 19 months again, Angel. And Trishy818, thank you for becoming a member tonight as well. I will get to the members too. I'm coming back slowly but surely. We will get the member stuff going too. But yeah, I would have to say, what's going on does not make any of these adults good people at all. And I don't know what these kids have been through. I think I might have an idea, and that sucks. But it's not too late. Even if you did something terrible by a mistake, maybe, it's not too late to do the right thing. to not be a piece of shit. You could end all of this and do something for yourself and get this off of your shoulders. And also, it's not all of us or any of us on YouTube, but you might want to do that because we all are going before the same judge, being judged on everything we've done. And there's only one judge that matters, who is watching this all, if you believe or don't believe. Are you willing to take that risk? I don't know. But here in Canada, even if you made a terrible, terrible mistake, doesn't mean that you're getting locked up forever. I know some people probably want that, but that's not how it works in Canada. So it's not too late to end this charade and stop being pieces of shit and clean up your life. Think of it as a way to help you clean up your life. You don't want to be doing meth, you guys. Come on. You don't want that. Do what's right, please. And end this. End this. Thank you. Good night. I will see you guys this week at some point, for sure Wednesday night over on Tammie's. And I'll see you around these chats, and I'll be live again myself. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Have a good night, you guys. Have a great rest of your week if you don't see me. Daniel, end this. Good night. Bye.